Well, yesterday when I spoke about the death of Ann Widdecombe, I was sad. Today, I'm not just sad, I'm angry because we've seen the murder inquiry, murder investigation launched. And as a Brexit MEP, briefly, I got to know Ann Widdecombe just a little bit, got to spend a little bit of time with her. Just a very sweet lady. And the idea of a 78-year-old elderly lady suffering in that way is just too much to bear, really. But look, what we know is that the police have launched a murder investigation, that police went to the property, went to Ann Widdecombe's house at 11:40 a.m. on Thursday, that she'd sustained serious injuries. A 26-year-old man we know was arrested on suspicion of murder, been released, no longer part of the investigation. And what we also now learn is that the police believe the attack took place on Wednesday afternoon, looking for a suspect believed to be a white male, and the police carry on with their work. What we know is that Anne was scheduled to go on Channel 5 on Wednesday, but stopped responding to messages. And you can see Dan Walker sort of laying out how that unfolded. But you can see the Channel 5 appearance that never happened.
Say there was no chance of Ann Widdecombe. I'm going to guess that we put Ann as a Reform spokesman in the Farage column, but she didn't show up, unfortunately. But we look forward to speaking to you on some other occasion, Ann. Wonderful stuff.
And indeed, what turned out to be Anne's final interview, I believe, was given on the Wednesday morning.
I've got very little trust left now in parliamentary processes. And if you look at this government, which has a majority on that committee, if you look at this government, look at the way that it's reacted when it's felt vulnerable, changes to political donations, cancelling local elections, we all remember that, going for votes at 16, loosening the voter ID requirements, you just name it. I mean, they react in such a way that is geared all around self-preservation now. Nigel is challenging that establishment.
And I have to say, some of the reaction is further reminder to me, really, that I like to spend as little time on social media as possible nowadays. Some of the absolutely disgusting responses, and I'm not going to give these scumbags the reaction they want, which is, I don't know what sad little lives they lead, that they want to say outrageous things on the internet for a bit of attention. I mean, it's very, very sad. We saw it after the death of Charlie Kirk. We've seen, sadly, some of this again. And outside of social media, you even had what I think were some very, very disrespectful comments by Adam Bolton on Sky.
But she was very much a spinster. I mean, by the end, I think you probably describe her as an old maid. Reportedly, she claimed that she was a virgin. She had a relationship at university. She went to Oxford University into an all-women's college, of course.
So let's talk instead then about Maidstone and her 23 years representing them. How will their constituents remember Ann Widdecombe?
Yeah, so just before I do that, I was just saying about the tributes that have been pouring out today. The only one that sort of hasn't really hit the mark very well, I thought, was Adam Bolton on your own channel of Sky News. I thought he was extremely disrespectful in a time when people are feeling very sad and grieving. And I do wonder, would he have made his disrespectful and I thought quite sexist remarks about the life of Ann Widdecombe, referring to the status of her virginity, for example, and calling her an old maid and referring to deeply personal things about her private life. I do wonder if Adam Bolton would have spoken about a recently deceased male politician in the same way. And I don't think he would. She doesn't deserve that. Her memory doesn't deserve that. And I do wonder if Adam Bolton will be apologising or if Sky News will be holding him to account in some way. But anyway, to answer your question about the residents of Maidstone and the Weald, I mean, Ann Widdecombe was very well known locally. She was very well respected and she was liked because really, whatever people thought of her politics, and yes, she had her detractors, of course she did, in person, she was warm, she was funny, she could hold an audience like nobody else. It's a rare skill in a politician when they can speak completely from the heart without notes.
But of course, disrespectful comments were massively outweighed by really touching tributes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on Haytor, up high on an absolutely magnificent, beautiful day. Ann's house just down the road from us, a place where I was a welcome visitor more than once, and she really loved this place. She loved the moor in all its moods, she loved its wildlife, she enjoyed the panoramic views from her bungalow right across looking out over the English Channel. And while she was part of the community here and very well known, she also had that solitude and peace in her home, in her garden, that meant so very, very much to her. She really did love this place, and it seems extraordinary on a beautiful day like this to think of the not only untimely but violent, barbaric manner of her death. She was a remarkable individual, redoubtable, I think the word was invented for her. Opponents knew exactly what to expect from her, and at times, I have to say, colleagues did feel the wrath of her tongue. She was the fiercest proponent of free speech I think I've ever met. She believed that we had the freedom and the right to say things that insulted each other. Her career in politics, of course, spanned decades as a minister, and then for many years as a shadow minister. And I spoke to one of her colleagues last night who said during those years in a shadow cabinet, she was the only one who always spoke up for what she believed to be the national interest. Her patriotism was deep within her family. She was immensely proud of the work her father had done with the Royal Navy during the war. But she was so much more than just a politician. After 2010, suddenly Ann Widdecombe, the socially conservative Christian politician, suddenly appears on Strictly Come Dancing, on Big Brother, doing theatre tours all around the country, one woman evening shows with Ann Widdecombe, writing novels. Quite remarkable what she did. And then suddenly in 2019, as it appeared that the Brexit vote wasn't actually going to be carried out by the government or parliament, I took a phone call one day. Ann Widdecombe here, I sort of stood to attention. I mean, you would, announcing that she'd love to run for us in the European elections. Her joining what was a completely brand new party directly contributed to us winning by a country mile 6 weeks later, the removal of Theresa May, Boris Johnson becoming Prime Minister, and Brexit happening. She played a very major role in getting Brexit over the line. Although, having said that, she was pretty unhappy with the Brexit deal. It wasn't the one that she actually wanted. As a colleague, she was phenomenal. Her work rate was unbelievable. She'd turn up anywhere in the country to speak. And of course, unlike modern politicians, Ann didn't need notes. She stood bestride the stage, knowing exactly what she had to say. Her convictions were fierce. She never sought popularity for the sake of it. She just stood up and fought for what she believed in. She was a great colleague, loved by all of us that worked with her, even if, as I say at times, she would tell me I was wrong in terms of what I was doing, in no uncertain terms. And I've come here today to lay this wreath and to start this memorial, not just on my own behalf, not just on behalf of the Reform Party, but on behalf of many, many millions around this country that admired her, loved her, thought she was a remarkable human being who made a massive contribution to public life in Britain over very, very many decades. May the God that she believed in bless her soul.
Mr. Farage,
thank you.
And I just wanted to leave you what I think is a pretty moving clip. Here is Ann Widdecombe speaking. What an incredible lady.
But do you think about your mortality? Do you think about what's coming next?
Oh, I think when you get to this, I mean, I think throughout my 60s, I never thought about mortality. Oh no, I'm
You were going to live forever.
going to live forever. I never thought about it in my 60s. When you get into your 70s, probably in the mid-70s, about 75, things start to happen. You develop twinges where you never had them before. You start to forget names that you've known all your life.
Yes.
Little signs of that, and they are intimations of mortality. And you realise they're not going to be any different for you. You know, you're going to pop your clogs at some stage, and you're going to go.
Does it frighten you? Does it
frighten me? No.
No.
No, I'd go to heaven, be with my mother and my father and my brother. I always hope I might be with my past cats as well, but I don't think that's theologically sound.
We mentioned, goodness gracious, what is that? It's Mr. Pugwash, my black cat.
Goodness gracious, are there others? Yes, indeed, my cat Carruthers.